the music producer. Some make the beats, some tell everybody else what to do, and some just sign checks and take credit. But for a certain type, producing is never enough.
Nigga, you ain't nothing but a producer. Get the fuck out my face!
They want more money, more power, until they're untouchable. Some of them are the most inspiring people in music, but others let their success turn them into absolute gods.
You think these singers made those songs? I made those songs.
Your Honor? He's a genius. He transformed the entire music industry.
He's a great songwriter. He's a great arranger.
The Spector is one of the most successful songwriters in the business.
The man who produces all those records that your youngsters are singing and dancing to.
Excuse me, are you Mr. Phil Spector?
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector, who records all the hits.
Here is Mr. Phil Spector.
1, 2, 3.
Every evening when the sun goes down.
Whoa, whoa.
I myself have a tremendous yearning. A yearning to be respected, a yearning to be accepted. I see this in the teenagers, yearning to do things, to be someone, to be important, and to be recognized.
By the time he was 23, Phil was the biggest producer in America. Everybody wanted his wall of sound. But he had one big problem.
His father killed himself when Phil was 10, 1949.
It was not a happy childhood.
I felt hated. I felt completely ostracized. I never felt like I fit in.
His mother was a little nuts. Sister, a little nuts.
People thought I was a clown.
I would not like my family to be raised the way I was raised.
Phil had the perfect villain arc, but there was one saving grace: his love and talent for making great music. But in reality, it only made everything worse.
I think that Phil realized that he had to control everything.
You know, Philip was walking in a different universe than everybody else, and so in his mind, it was all him. You know, and the guys were just some sort of an extension of what he couldn't do.
He seems to be terribly sensitive.
Very sensitive. You have no idea. I mean, knock the both of you right out into the studio.
You say the Jews invented the music business. The Jews didn't invent the music business. I invented the music business.
I controlled everything in the 60s. I was a control freak.
Where's a statue of me? Where's a presidential medal?
I'm the best and I'm the greatest. I'm an egomaniac.
I'd say I'm probably relatively insane.
Phil became out of control.
Had a gun on him and he...
Everybody's running out of the studio. And I'm going, what's up? What's going on?
The guns were about the girls. I mean, he couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a money machine. Now he's the star maker.
Eons of musicians, and he was little bitty something out there screaming, I want this, you know? I mean,
shut up! Because I'm paying a lot of you for this whole thing.
Phil put me up against the wall, and he said, if you fuck up my song, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm an egomaniac. Well, my ego is so high, you can't beat me down.
Phil was absolutely right. No one person can bring him down. The only thing that can do that was his own failure.
River Deep, Mountain High, we all thought that was going to be a giant of a hit.
It's a new modern sound. His time's past.
After the failure of Tina Turner's record, Phil quit music. And in 2003, he snapped.
Phil Spector, once the darling of the music industry, now facing a jury.
This lady died in Phil's home. There was no crime.
Mr. Spector, did you kill Lana Clarkson?
No.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Philip Spector, guilty of the crime of second-degree murder of Lana Clarkson.
I believe in Socrates. Give someone enough rope and he always hangs himself.
How could they hate somebody whose records are filled with so much love and so much pure fucking talent?
There was no love in our next guy. He had no musical talent, but at his record label, if he says he's the producer, then he's the producer. The notorious Morris Levy.
Federal
Federal officials say he's the godfather of the American music industry.
Get the fuck out of here. Stop wasting my time.
Federal officials allege Levy uses his ties to organized crime to control the record industry.
Music business back then, we were breaking all the rules. Making them, breaking them as we went along.
The connection between the mob and the music business. What do you say to that?
There is no connection between the mob and the music business.
To understand how Morris rose to power, we gotta go back to the early days. Back when mobsters owned the city. You know, real Gotham City style.
You shit-kicking, stinky horse-smelling motherfucker, you!
1923, New York City. A gangster named Oni Madden took over the famous Cotton Club. Meanwhile, Al Capone is running things at a cocktail lounge in Chicago. But these places, and many others like them, they were just a cover-up. They had jazz musicians, girls, politicians, the who's who. All of this just to illegally sell one thing. In 1920, alcohol was banned in the United States, but groups like the Mafia and the Irish Mob were selling homemade beer and whiskey in the clubs.
I didn't believe in prohibiting people from getting the things they wanted. I thought prohibition was an unjust law, and I still do.
Mob bosses were making around $1 million a year, but after prohibition ended, they needed a new product. The musicians. Just in time for Morris Levy to manage his own jazz club.
Morris Levy owned Birdland, a couple jazz clubs, was in charge of all the hat check rooms, was in charge of all the cigarette vending machines, and if you had to play New York, you had to play ball with Morris Levy. You had to sign to his label, which was Roulette.
What we learned about Roulette was that in addition to being a functioning independent record label, and a pretty good one, it was also a front for the Genovese crime family in New York.
The Genovese crime family is the Ivy League of the five families. They're very intelligent, very sophisticated. You don't want to tangle with these guys.
Genovese was violent. He liked to have bodies in the street. He liked to have people thrown through windows and off roofs and knocked off.
Federal authorities were describing you yesterday as the godfather of the American music business, the connection between the mob and the music business. What do you say to that?
There is no connection between the mob and the music business.
Morris committed every illegal act you could think of to gain power. He stole his artists' royalties, sold bootleg copies of other artists, paid off radio stations, and if you oppose him, that might be the last thing you'll ever do. All until 1986.
Morris Levy was arrested yesterday at the Ritz-Carlton in Boston. He's accused of 2 counts of extortion and 1 count of conspiracy to commit extortion in connection with the alleged beating of a record distributor.
Morris died 2 months before his prison sentence, but the damage was done. Even with contracts, managers, the mobsters turned the music industry into the Wild West. But as the 90s were approaching, the new decade ushered in a new type of gangster.
The most feared figure in all of hip-hop.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight's a problem.
One day you Bobby Brown's bodyguard, and the next day you repping talent.
There's no way to sugarcoat Suge Knight. He's a very dangerous guy.
He was an aggressive person that cleared the way for me to go in and do what I had to do, you know, by any means necessary.
Death Row ain't a label. It's a way of life.
Come to Death Row.
Death Row is going to be the biggest record company there is.
Michael Harry O. Harris, co-founder of Death Row Records.
At the young age of 26, he had already made millions of dollars. These are his roots, the streets of South Central Los Angeles.
I was a person who decided to sell drugs, so I took those proceeds and invested in various real estate and businesses that turned out to be quite profitable.
Death Row Records is going to be the record company of the 2000s. Death Row. Death Row, Death Row. Death Row is gonna be the label of the future.
The hype got so big that everybody started fearing.
Suge Knight is an intimidating individual. When he enters a room, you notice it. You can't help it.
Say something wrong, you get smacked.
Eat good shit, motherfucker, there you go. Eat good.
If you come late, you get smacked.
Sure.
You do this, you get smacked.
This guy is the fucking man.
How does it feel to be so feared?
I don't look at it as fear, I look at it as respected.
Suge started recruiting, but not for artists. He was building an army. People from the neighborhood, thugs, bloods, and anybody that would do his dirty work, so he can look clean for the public eye.
And Suge started
producer Suge Knight is currently facing murder and attempted murder charges in a case where he ran over two individuals, killing one of them.
Here he is now, Suge Knight, a former rap powerhouse, collapsing in court, where he's facing a murder charge.
A judge set his bail, set to $25 million.
Give someone enough rope and he always hangs himself.
This is it. This is
nuclear war.
Internet shutdown. Y2K.
Millennium bug. The bug will cause a lot of people a lot of trouble.
What's going on here? Why is everything chrome?
A Senate panel describes Y2K, the year 2000 computer bug, as a worldwide crisis.
10, 9, 8, 7,
2000!
Hey, all you singers out there, Lou Pearlman, the mastermind behind such bands as LFO, NSYNC, and the Backstreet Boys, is looking for 5 talented young men to form a new band.
What he does is take teenage boys who might otherwise lead unremarkable lives and turn them into rich, famous pop music stars.
Lou Pearlman could just on a whim change anyone's life here.
Lou was a lifetime businessman, a helicopter taxi service, charter planes, restaurants. But the music business caught his attention when he met the boy band New Kids on the Block.
I just didn't know who they were. These kids did $200 million in record sales and $800 million in touring and merchandising. I was like, I'm in the wrong business.
Backstreet's back, all right. Hi, we're the Backstreet Boys.
I love Backstreet Boys and I'll die for them if I see them. It was 7 years ago that Lou Pearlman decided to open a finishing school for boy bands in Orlando, Florida.
For some reason, Orlando seems to attract the worst of the worst. Nickelodeon Studios were having their own issues with Dan Schneider. But for Lou, things were just getting started.
What are you looking for? You need to have the young kid that definitely has a cute look that the young girls are looking for.
Who's your favorite member of NSYNC? All of them.
Justin.
Yeah.
It's gonna be me.
It's a teen sensation invasion in Foxborough.
The boy band NSYNC opens 2 nights of sold-out shows.
Multi-platinum recording artists, NSYNC.
They are so cool and they're hot.
On the surface, everything was bliss. But Lou thought it was all about him. And without him, the boys would be nothing. So when it came to the money, he wanted it all.
It went from Jolly Lou to like, I don't give a fuck about you right now. And it was just like no smile the rest of the time I ever saw him.
This whole thing's been crazy. It's just got way below out of proportion. And it's like, how can one guy do everything they're claiming?
The boy bands are his vehicle. They are his product. That does not mean that they're being fairly paid.
I know in the industry, and so do a lot of people who I speak to in the industry tell me that they're more than fair, these contracts. What made NSYNC become suspicious of their situation with Lou Pearlman?
They had sold millions and millions of records, and they had received literally next to no money, pennies.
And he'd be like, oh, I'm the 6th Backstreet Boy. Well, the boys thought it was a buddy thing until they actually saw the work and realized, okay, we have to split 6 ways here.
The kids should take a step back and say, how'd I get here? Who took the risk? Who put up all the money? Who's my real big pop?
After his legal battles with NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, he kept buying other companies, including a fraudulent talent agency called Options Talent. But this would be the last purchase he ever made.
He is wanted in the state of Florida on federal bank fraud charges and has evaded authorities for the last several months.
Lou Pearlman sentenced today for defrauding banks and investors out of as much as $300 million.
Even if he gets the money back, he should be put in jail and kept in jail until he dies.
The record producer behind bands such as Backstreet Boys and NSYNC died in prison.
The music industry in Hollywood has always been terrorized by people like this, monsters who prey on the vulnerable. But what do you do when one of the monsters is your own father?
Mr. Joseph Jackson, how about that?
Molly, outside. Go. Get a switch.
If you miss a step, expect to be,
I understand you maintain a certain discipline.
You must around like your brother Jackie, huh?
That's the only time you can hold a group together.
by rules and that they must be followed to the fullest extent.
To this day, they are still afraid of my father, and they will tell you.
Think your father was too strict? Yes. No, he's gonna kill me.
Me and Jackie probably, and Jermaine got the blunt of whatever it was.
He practiced us with a belt in his hand.
He was very strict. He was a strong disciplinarian, and he did not play.
One occasion you cite when you're getting out of the bathtub and he whacks you. How old were you then?
I was very young.
I never liked the dad never liked me.
Joe Jackson, was he, they said that he took a fork and he scraped it on Michael's face when he had acne. Was he really that bad?
He's not a human being. He's the devil.
I don't think he realizes to this day how scared. So scared that I would regurgitate.
He was so frightened of you sometimes that he would be sick. Is that true?
He regurgitated all the way to the bank, you know.
If he hit me, I would hit him back, which was terrible. And I would run around the house and hide.
And I was so fast, he couldn't catch me half the time, but when he would catch me, oh my God, it was bad.
For better or worse, Joe was everything to them. Manager, producer, coach, and he wasn't going to stop until he got his family to California.
I told you, Katie. I told you I was going to get us to California, yeah.
And as scary as Joe Jackson was, without him, they may have never made it out of Gary, Indiana.
My father was strict, but he had his reasons.
Yeah, he wanted us to make it. He bought us instruments and rehearsed us, and he saw the dream for us, and I'm glad he did that for us.
I think that my father did a fantastic job.
Michael's first battle was with his father, but his second one was with Sony. And now, Sony is led by the most powerful man in music history.
Who's the worst celebrity, that you've been around is, the most full of sin?
Clive Davis.
Legendary music producer Clive Davis.
Barry Manilow, Patti Smith, Billy Joel, Earth, Wind & Fire. The list is very long.
Clive Davis is the real gangster.
You talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Clive Davis!
People in the music industry really don't like Clive Davis, most of them.
Some people say Clive was heaven sent, and some people say
he's the devil.
But to really understand his grip on the music industry, we gotta go back to the beginning of our story. Clive is from the same era as Morris, Levy, and Phil Spector. But while Morris was in the streets and Phil was on the guitar, Clive was in school. But not just any school.
I was working at one of the top law firms in the city until one day I get a call from one of my clients, the chief attorney for Columbia Records.
In just a few years, Clive became the president of Columbia Records. But in 1973, he started showing his hand.
He was involved in the biggest payola scandal. That's when record companies give money to radio stations to play their songs.
You're informed that you were going to have to leave the building, that you had lost your job.
CBS knew it was not true. They had investigated it. And I did become a sacrificial lamb to a 2-year witch hunt.
And then there was a Genovese crime guy named Pasquale Falcone, and he got busted smuggling 22 pounds of heroin. The Justice Department started digging into him, and they came across all these shell companies. And Clive Davis was funneling money from ABC Records to these shell companies.
Money laundering, bribery, and bullying and playing favorites. None of this has been proven in court. But what about the artists who've dealt with him personally?
The record company, Clive Davis, we held them hostage like guns, the whole shebang.
We had a lot of questions. We weren't making any money, and we were selling albums and all that. And so we're like, well, shoot, let's just go to the head. And that is Clive Davis.
Oh, hey, girls, Clive's in a meeting. I'll tell him you're here. Don't even worry about it.
So we went up there and held everybody hostage, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out. Yo, B, yo, your girl's up here mad bugging, yo. And I was like, oh, Puff, how you gonna snitch us out, dog?
Clive Davis wrote a book
And in the book, he's critical of Kelly Clarkson.
Wait, he has a memoir with stories about me?
Yeah, he does.
Things getting a little heated between singer Kelly Clarkson and record exec Clive Davis.
She says that you said she wasn't a great songwriter and that she should shut up and sing. Do you remember it in that way?
But she's not known. Her primary talent is her voice. And it's like Whitney Houston came to me.
We have breaking news tonight out of Los Angeles, the death of singing star Whitney Houston at the age of 48.
She was there to attend Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy bash. The party went on as scheduled.
Why did you let the party go on?
Of course, this is a personal thing. But the Grammys were the next night. You don't cancel.
I don't know what could motivate a person to have a party.
But we got Whitney Houston lose her motherfucking life. And you still had that motherfucking Clive Davis party? Bro, that's sick.
Clive Davis, yeah.
Fuck him.
These men shape the soundtracks of our lives while putting fear in the lives of others. And yet, every one of them was a genius.
And you know what they say about geniuses? You know, they aren't far from being insane.